We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello students, today we will discuss about the gastrointestinal agents. This is the topic included in the syllabus of first semester pharmaceutical inorganic chemistry. And in this topic we will discuss about the several questions which is frequently asked in the GTU examinations. For example, here are the 3 questions. Explain GI agents, define following terms: antacids, acidifiers, expectorant, cathartics, hematinics, and what is achlorhydria and gives treatment. These are the questions which is frequently asked in GTU examination. We will see the answer for that. But first we will see about the what is GI tract or the system. As we know that the GI tract includes the esophagus, and these are the other things like stomach, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine, appendix, and rectum. So one of the vital organ present in the body is the GI tract. It controls hormones and other secretions. It consists of structure that aid the ingestion and digestion of the foods. So what is ingestion? That is a process of consuming something and taking into the body. And what is digestion? That is a mechanical and chemical breaking down of food into smaller components to form a to a form that can be absorbed. So the stomach includes these body parts like cardia, fundus, body, pyrolus. So its layer is consist of 5 layers of smooth muscle, and the mucous lining of the stomach protects the stomach cells from action of stomach acid. The walls of the stomach acids are lined with parietal cells that secrete mucus gastric juice that includes pepsin enzyme or pepsinogen and HCl. So what is the role of pepsin and HCl? Pepsin is most effective in the very acidic condition of the stomach. pH is necessary to be 2, and it become inactive at higher pH. Thus HCl present in the gastric juice which is secreted by the oxyntic or parietal cells of the stomach. That HCl is function is to acidify the food, and it also kills the microbes which may be harmful to the body, and that acid provides the acidic environment which is needed for effective uh, digestion of by pepsin. So secretion of gastric juice and HCl which are very essential. And the secretion of HCl which is controlled by the acetylcholine histamine and gastrin, that is a group of 17 amino acids substance heptadecapeptide through the interlink mechanism by respective receptor sites. So here the one pump is involved, that is H plus KTPase, K plus ATPase pump, which releases the gastric acids, and it is an energy dependent process. Here is the illustration how it look like. So here the question like achlorhydria and gives the treatment which is frequently asked in GTU examinations. So here is the explanation for that. In the stomach, normal pH is 1.5 to 2.0 milli equivalent. In females, the acidity is proportionally lower than the males. Under certain pathological condition, the gastric acid content is very low, which is commonly referred to as hypochloridria, or it may be totally missing. That is achlorhydria. Achlorhydria means the missing of that concentration of the HCl. And In that condition, we require acidifier and acidifying agent. For example, ammonium chloride, calcium chloride, dilute HCl, etc. So what is the property of the dilute HCl which is given in the treatment of the achlorhydria? That is, it is colorless, aqueous solution and acidic to litmus, which is recommended to relieve the patient suffering from achlorhydria, and it is a IP limit of 9.5% and not more than 10.5% weight by weight of the HCl. So here is for preparation of that HCl. Here is a method of analysis of dilute HCl and a test for identification of the HCl. And what is the doses? That is about 0.6 to 8 ml, and it's used as acidifier. Ammonium chloride, that is same falling into category. It is a systemic acidifier, and it is hygroscopic in nature. It is soluble in water, and the ammonium chloride acts by stimulating the gastric reflexes, causing irritation by ammonia and amine gas, which is illustrated by over this mechanism. Here the assay procedure to estimate the ammonium chloride. The assay 2 procedure for estimating the ammonium chloride. Here is the preparation for that, and doses. It is given 3 to 6 milligram per day in the individual doses. Gastric antacids. So why gastric antacids? Because of the peptic ulcer, and it is a serious complication of hyperacidity, which is due to the digestive action of the pepsin and HCl on the inner wall of the stomach and duodenum, which is also due to the failure of the protective mechanism of mucosa to prevent the autodigestion process. So if that balance is imbalanced, means because of the several factors like H. pylori, gastric acid, pepsin and NSAIDs, that is the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and because of that there is a peptic ulcer, and we have to require that protective factors. So what is the etiology of the peptic ulcer and hyperacidity? Excess stomach acid results in a state of discomfort known as the acid indigestion. Acid indigestion may be result of several forms of a variety of factors, including overeating, alcohol consumption, eating certain foods, anxiety, smoking certain drugs, aspirin. So the goal in peptic ulcer treatment is to reduce pain, accelerate healing, prevent complications, prevent ulcer recurrence, prevent gastric hyperacidity. So what are the gastric antacids? That agents used to neutralize the excess gastric acid secretion. They are the common examples like sodium bicarbonate, calcium carbonate, aluminum hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, and magnesium carbonates. So here are some of the examples of the antacids. Systemic antacids examples are sodium bicarbonate, sodium citrate. Non-systemic antacids, they are insoluble in water, absorption rate is very less, and so that they are used in the treatment of peptic ulcer and hyperacidity. Baking soda, which is a common synonym of sodium bicarbonate, and it is popular and widely used antacid, but it has several disadvantages, demerits also, which it produces metabolic alkalosis and disturb rate acid-base balance of the body fluids, water solubility, absorption of the cationic moiety. The carbon dioxide evolved during the reactions may cause the bleaching and flatulence, along with the carbonative actions. It has the doses of 1 to 5 gram, and it's used in the treatment of heartburn and dyspepsia. Here are some common preparation of sodium hydrogen bicarbonate. It's a solvay process also, which is frequently asked in the examinations. These are the reactions. Another main preparation is used by dissolving the soda ash. Here the method of analysis is the assay procedure for that. Compounds of aluminium, for example, aluminium hydroxide gel, is used in the form of colloidal viscous suspension. Compounds aluminium also includes the various gases and toxins. Several side effects. It is the stability too. Aluminum hydroxide gel is a description of white viscous aqueous suspension, and it has a pH of 5.5 and 8.0. Here is a mode of actions. It causes the nausea, vomiting, and constipation. Here is the method of analysis of aluminum hydroxide gel. Milk of magnesia. Method of analysis for that. It is used in antacid and laxative. Here are some ideal characteristic of antacid which is frequently asked in GTU examinations. What are the general considerations or characteristic of antacids? The student may should write during the question, answering to the question. So who cannot take antacid? Sodium bicarbonate is not safe in pregnancy. It can cause fluid buildup, but it is okay to use antacids that have calcium carbonate. Sodium bicarbonate also not appropriate for patients with kidney failure problem or heart disease. Antimicrobials. So antimicrobials can be regarded also anti-infective agents, and so topical anti-infective agents can be categorized into cherolytic agents, antiseptics, disinfectants, sanitizers, and germicides. So what are the antiseptic? Antiseptic is any agent which either kills or inhibits the growth of microorganisms when applied topically at damaged tissue. So that is, for example, BoroPlus in the market or is already available. It is a base example of antiseptic. What is the disinfectant? Agents that destroy the microorganism but not usually bacteria spores. What are the germicides, the sterilizations, mechanism action of antimicrobials, mechanisms of oxidation and halogenation and protein precipitation. Here are the detailed description of oxidations, how it take place. Example of Searle had a functional group of a cysteine. Oxidation, how oxidation takes place. Halogenation, how halogenation takes place. Precipitation of proteins also included in the mechanism action. Category by mechanisms, how the mechanisms are taking place according to the examples are over here. Hydrogen peroxide, it is the physical property and chemical properties which are included over here. Chemical properties include decompositions of, for example, oxidation reaction. Here some other reactions. Here the preparation of hydrogen peroxide by using the Muggs method from barium peroxide. Here is the assay procedure that involves the oxidation reduction titration, redox titration. Here are the uses for that. Potassium permanganate, which is also known as permanganate of potash, so it is a synonym for that. So here the synonym also asked in the GTU examination, which is very important. Student have to remember the each and every synonym. For the synonym and uses only the 1 mark for the one compound is there. So student miss there the opportunity. Here are the uses for KMNO4, physical and chemical properties, preparation of KMNO4, uses of the KMNO4. Here is the assay procedure of the KMNO4. Boric acid. It has a several description of the boric acid like waterless, white crystalline powder. Preparation of that. Assay procedure of the it is assayed by titrimetric method. Here is the factor involved. Several uses for that boric acid. Iodine in its preparation, physical and chemical properties. Iodine in its preparation. How it is prepared from seaweed ash. This is the assay procedure for that iodine preparations. Uses for the iodine preparations. Storage condition for that. Various official preparation of iodine like Lugol solutions and tincture of iodine. Lugol solution nothing but the iodine solutions, which is also frequently asked in examination, GTU examinations. Aqueous solution, here is the preparation, various ingredient. Label claim is there, physical and chemical properties. Iodine and preparation, the Lugol solutions is also there. Weak iodine solution is also there. Iodine tincture is there. Sodium strong iodine solutions. Povidone iodine solution is there. Povidone iodine solution is a very good antiseptic in throat infections or wound. It is used as the gargle preparations. Calcium oxychloride. It is a synonym of bleaching powder. So student may have to recognize this compound. What is that? Sodium oxychloride, which is also asked in the GTU examination. What is the synonym of calcium oxychloride? That is the synonym bleaching powder. And what is the bleaching powder? That is calcium oxychloride. Here are some preparation. Assay procedure is there. Uses are there. Storage condition are there. Cathartics, drugs for constipation. So what's the constipation? The infrequent passage of stool that may be due to the decreased motility in colon or due to the difficulty in evacuation. Causes are because of diet, local painful conditions like piles, lack of muscular exercise, drugs, for example, muscle relaxation, anticholinergics. Here are some common causes of constipation. Treatment of constipation: adequate fluid intake, high fiber contents, regular exercise, regular or bowel habit, avoid drugs causing constipation like laxatives. Here are the drugs for the adequate treatment of that: laxative, purgative, and cathartics. So, what are the types of classification? Bulk purgative, stimulant purgative. So, and stool, fecal softener, emulsion, uh, laxatives, lubricants, osmotic purgative, or saline cathartics. So, what is the saline cathartics? Act by increasing the osmotic load of GIT. That is retention of water osmotically. They are also source of poorly absorbable anions like H2PO4 minus biphosphate, phosphate, sulfates, tartrates, and sodium, magnesium salt. Saline cathartics are water soluble and are taken with large quantities with water. Example of cathartics are magnesium sulfate, kaolin bentonite, sodium orthophosphate. So in GTU, the question like give a brief account on any one saline cathartics. So magnesium sulfate is the ideal example. It is a IP limit, properties, preparation is there. And assay procedure is given over here. Uses it is the osmotic laxative in treatment of electrolyte deficiency, in weight dressing in boys, treatment of sea weakness, hypertension, etc. Here are some identification tests. Sodium orthophosphate properties identification test. Assay procedure uses kaolin properties uses bentonite uses types and form available. Thank you. This is the end of the lecture.